Here's a story for you.
Go on.
We happened to be in a kebab shop last week.
We are rolling.
That's all right. And we were in there waiting for our food innocently. Me, Alex, and our mate Ross, who's fortunately ex-military tough guy as well, like me and Alex, just tough guys. In comes a large group of the travelling community, heavily drunk, and a lot of them with a lot of nasty marks across their faces from, previous encounters with said people. And we were sat there, the three of us, big and hard and tough, and secretly shitting our pants. And next thing you know, one of them comes over to us, lads, do you see the football? I won't do the accent. Do you see the football? What? Arsenal 3-0, and he was happy as Larry with that. So we were like, yeah, we love Arsenal. Yeah, and we just got right behind it, and swiftly moved out of that shop.
Yeah,
got
I
itself
can
out and
imagine.
got away alive. But yeah, and there was only three of us, and there were seven of them, and there was a lot of glass around. That's the first thing I counted. A whole window of kebab shop, and a whole till and everything. Not the place you want to be having the little scrappers.
Probably a money laundering enterprise.
What do you think?
Well, the barber shops are.
Yeah, this is interesting, isn't it? Have you seen the amount of them gone up?
Well, my son.
Kev, can you put your mic right up closer?
Bring yourself in.
My son.
Feel free to move it around.
Yeah,
When
my
you-
son
Even
owns.
closer, Kev. Even closer.
Even closer.
Yeah, right up to your mouth.
Like
Blowjob.
that far away.
Right. Testing.
There you go.
Is that it?
Yeah, what are you going
Feel
to
free to move up as well if you need to.
Oh, okay.
It goes all over.
My son owns a couple of barber shops, and he knows that there is a problem with the Turkish barbers. You know, they're cash only.
Cash only. They all have the same interior designer.
So, same workers.
So yeah, it's.
They all set fire to your ears.
I'm sure I saw something the other day. There was like 700 of them across the country 10 years ago, and now there's 3,500.
Yeah,
Gone up in the last 4, or probably more than that, really.
it's mad, isn't it?
It was like the car washes, the same, wasn't it, years ago? We're not politically or racially incorrect or whatever here. This is the fact, isn't it?
But in the old days, cash wasn't deemed as being an indicator that you're up to anything, because cash was normal currency for a lot of people.
Cash is king.
Now, nobody has, well, you do, but not many people carry cash around with them. Do they?
No, but I had some work done at home from trades, such. Yeah, we take cash, Steve. You got cash, that'd be better. I was like, no, I just can't get it. And the only way I can get cash now is to drive all the way, a half-hour drive to Chelmsford to get cash. There's no cash. I even think the cash points out here, there's only one left in this town, and that's going. Supermarkets, I suppose, have got them, but disappearing, isn't it? Our ice cream man is having a nightmare the other day because he takes card. And that was the old drug dealer run, wasn't it? The old kid, Grand Theft Auto, the old game.
Oh, I wasn't.
But even
into
he
that.
was paying. Here's to take card. It's that card. And he's there trying to get signal because he's in the village where we live, and he's there having a night. He's got 2 devices he's trying to run, but you can't always rely on it still, though, can you?
No, I mean I've got probably a £5 in my pocket, and that's it. And that's not going to get me very far. But with Apple Pay, who cares?
Yeah, Apple Pay's a winner.
What's
There's
the
no card limit on the £100 on a tap. There's no tap on limit on a Apple Pay.
I didn't know that.
No, a lot of people don't. My brother-in-law taught me that about a year ago, 2 years ago. So it's 101 quid. I've got to put my PIN code in. Not with Apple Pay. Boop, 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 boop. Not sure that's every bank, but
What if my bank manager knows that?
there you go.
That's interesting.
That used to be a thing back in your day as well, I suppose. Isn't it? A bank manager.
I remember a bank manager when I worked in London. He actually turned me down for a bank account, and I asked him why. And he said, because you've never got any money in your account. And you used to have to go and see the bank manager, and the bank manager was king, wasn't he? He was the most important person that you were likely to go and get to meet and shake hands with, the bank manager.
Yeah.
Look at Dad's Army. He was a bank manager, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah. What was his name? Mannering.
Oh, Mandarin.
Do you remember that?
No.
You're too young, aren't you?
My dad was in the Dad's Army. I couldn't quite get it. I was only Fours and Horses. I did like that. Do like that. Still like that. Let's go.
The boom.
Broom.
The new
Trigger's
handle.
broom.
Yeah.
Here we go. Intro.
Intro.
Hello and welcome, Construction Sport Podcast. This is our first podcast live back since our big bike ride. There's been a couple of episodes since, but in person, this is me beaten and broken. Hence my glasses, hence my swollen eyes, hence the need for an extra bit of fizz, not too much sugar. I've gone zero, but
Hemorrhoids?
No, held out.
Oh.
Held well, tucked in. All good, really. Day 2 was crucial to the back door. It hurt a lot.
Did it?
Yeah, agony.
You need Vaseline for that.
Yeah, we did. We had this cream called Assos cream. Is it Assos cream or something?
Wanted to discuss
Yeah, it literally is, and it's just you just lather up basically. I'm talking
Lovely.
big jar, 4 fingers loads, directly apply, and then also get your sponge shorts out, another load, bang on there. It feels like you're sitting in a pool of custard for 10 hours, but
it works.
It works. And there's first thing my dad always said as well. People do. Don't worry about how many miles you've got in your legs. It's the miles you've got in your arse. That's what will separate the boys from the men.
Yeah, that's probably true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certain establishments in the world.
I used to belong to a cycle club.
Yep.
Yeah. Used to be quite painful, I can remember. Problem is when you're short as well, you're relying on the saddle to keep you afloat because your feet can't reach the ground. Hence why I didn't do the bicycle ride.
But we're here with Kevin Downton of First Response. What's your job role apart from marketing executor, brand manager?
I don't know really. I just I suppose marketing really,
sales
but
and
I
marketing.
get involved in other bits and pieces.
All right.
So, as you do,
but you also the first time on the podcast with glasses on. It feels a bit different. You were the first person, one of the first people at the very start of construction sport, Mr. Kevin Downton, wasn't you, sir?
Yep.
When this was just a dream away, an idea in the sky.
Yep.
And we sat down, and as we said, we want to do a nut.
You wanted to do a nut for mental health, and I said perhaps that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
But we did it, and it looks okay, doesn't it?
It's gone all right.
It doesn't look like a nut, really.
No, you got to add the last one, actually. You need to update your shirt on that one.
Yeah, I've got the original one.
For the golf day a few years ago.
It's just the one we originally designed, wasn't it?
And here we are today, literally pushing on in our own studio.
Yeah, it's really
in
impressive.
Our own offices.
Really impressive. I like this. Yeah,
it's cool, isn't it?
I think using the pallets to cheaply decorate to make it look nice was a good idea.
Donated by PDC Paul Casey.
Was
PDC
it
himself? Yep.
Oh, right.
Scaffold boards, spirit level that I took out of the toolbox.
You've got a good location as well because you're central to everything.
Yeah, it does seem to work well, and everyone likes Malden as well. People come here and they go, "Oh, I thought it was coming to Essex, like Pitsy." Not quite.
No, it's not quite.
It's not all like that.
No.
And they come in and they go, "I'm generally surprised," and I like it. So yeah, the location's going down well. We thought this as well when things kind of expand, should we say? Where would we go next? But the location-wise, it's good.
You could always come to Colchester.
That's too far. Half hour from me.
It's a nice drive down here. Oh,
yeah, if you come the back ways.
Yeah, come down the back way, but I had a nightmare journey in this today.
How did you get?
Well, I came down through Great Totham, the country route.
Yep.
4 miles of blue flashing lights behind me and sirens wailing. And the faster I went, the faster he went. And I couldn't shake him off. I tried everything, and eventually I had to stop. And he wasn't very happy. He come out, pressed the button, window down, and he said, "You got a problem?" I said, "I'm sorry, mate." I said, He said, "Did you see my blue lights flashing?" I went, "Oh, yeah, of course I did. I saw your blue light. I said, "Saw them 4 miles ago." He said, "Did you hear my sirens?" I went, "Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, I did turn the stereo up and try and drown them out, but that didn't work." He says, "What's your problem? Why didn't you stop?" I said, to be honest with you, I was scared." He said, "You were scared?" I said, "Well, actually, I was petrified." He said, "Why was you petrified?" I said, "About 2 years ago, my ex-wife ran off with a copper, and I thought you was bringing her back."
Hey! First joke, plenty more to come.
No, there's not.
There we go. Podcast finished. It's done.
Yeah.
This is it then.
Cut.
My first notepad. I'm liking this.
It's cool, isn't it?
It's cool, isn't it? It's straightforward, simple, and keep it simple, stupid.
And cheap.
And cheap. Little QR code. Does that take us to the website?
Certainly does.
There we go. So what our first response, I know, Kev, but tell the millions of people in the audience watching you today.
Well, we do, we're a tool hire company, business, supplies to London and the home county is Essex. We go to London daily. On the back of that, we also run a site supplies division, which includes everything from small tools to PPE, signage. Signage, we're big on signage. So we kind of do everything really. And we've got a new welding division that's been open about 18 months.
And it's gone up the country a little bit as well. You're moving around the country a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, the welding division actually in Chorley, which is Lancashire.
Okay,
And
lovely.
the boys are doing a lot of work up there. It's gradually building. They've just done a big delivery to Liverpool Football Club.
Cool.
So we're in the Premier League now.
There you go. Hey! Yeah, see
How
what you're
good's
doing
that?
there?
Yeah,
That is quite cool, isn't it?
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, it's a nice thing to say you've done.
Yep.
And to be honest, it's kudos as well because it means you're good.
Yeah, something's working.
You know, something's working. You don't.
So where the so first response, as I know, all aspects of the construction industry, really, isn't it? Bit of everything and everywhere. There's not much you don't supply.
No, it's
Not much you don't hire.
No. We've got a new online system that you and I spoke about, which we probably haven't really pushed, if I'm honest with you. But it's good for a business that wants to have a bit more control or a little bit more flexibility, especially perhaps they're working at night, or perhaps they want to control their costs.
Yeah. Yes, I noticed this has got 24/7 on this, isn't it?
Yeah.
On the front there.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the way everything is going now. And
The amount of businesses in London, like you say, all the shops and construction sector in London doesn't stop. The railway just starts at night.
No.
Highways gets going at night, but then all the fit out works.
Yep. The problem is
that starts at night.
It does, yeah. The problem is a lot of people still. I guess it's probably an age thing, in that you find the older people tend to be more wary of online systems because look, they've got teams of guys working and they're probably not as confident about using an online platform. They prefer pick the phone up or drop an email.
Yeah.
The reality is that's great, but it doesn't work until people arrive into the office.
Yep.
So you're not really. Whereas the younger people probably more bought into using things like apps or online systems.
So this 24/8, you say you can place an order. The night shift can say put an order in, bang, bang, bang. But then the morning crew can come in.
Yeah,
and potentially just see what's gone through, tick it off.
Yeah.
Have it ready for that night.
Yeah,
That's hand, isn't it? Cutting out the middleman of emails
exactly.
and can you do this for me? Do this.
Yeah.
By the way, I've done this. Can you just?
Well, it might even be that they want to off hire equipment.
Yep.
So you can off hire. The problem with a lot of the off hiring is people tend to forget to do it, which is good for us. So,
it's very good for the hire. But you're right. It's so much obviously sitting around, isn't there?
Yeah.
But if you show that you're efficient and you want to help with this, it puts your name first. See what I've done
we
there?
like that. Yeah, we use first a lot.
You got loads of plan words with that, haven't you? First.
Yeah.
And see, well, we need a push for the next skills, the next generation. Something you could do your first construction notepad, kids range.
Your first job.
Your first job. Yep. Your first cards. Your first tickets.
Perhaps you're missing out.
I'll give you that one for free.
Thank
Any
you.
more?
Thank you. You're good at this, aren't you?
It is. Kev, you've been on a few. You come on the Keeping Up the Curves podcast, actually. Yeah.
I did.
Back in the day when we tested out, see if I was a podcast host.
Oh, this was when this was after I killed myself on that walk.
Yeah, when I took you to my Mayfair office. That one.
You did. That's right. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that shortly after the walk? Was it the first one?
Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, the walk was a nightmare. I'd never do that again.
The night one, the BBC one.
Yes. Yeah.
Funny, wasn't it?
It was funny. Yeah. Well, it was funny. I mean, I didn't think it was funny. I spent 2 days.
So you told me I can't walk nowhere, and I get this all the time. I'm not fit enough. I can't do this. We can't do that. Blah blah blah. My knees are shot to shit. I can't do it. And you said, "I'll give it a go to halfway." And how far did you get?
Yeah, probably. I fell a mile short. I think the cobbles killed me.
Yeah,
those cobbles just.
Yeah, for Tobacco Dock.
Yeah. And
between Towerbridge.
Your dad Bernie rescued me.
Yeah, but it just shows, doesn't it, when you push yourself, how far you can take yourself.
Yeah. To be fair, if I'd have done it a few years before when I was still playing football, I'd have probably got away with it a bit better. But I think I stopped doing stuff, so I was probably not at my best.
Yeah, fair play. And then from that, you then got the train home. How was the train home?
Yeah, the train home was terrible. Yeah. The thing is, because I never used the train before, I had no idea that. I mean, I got to Marks Tay station, and my son was picking me up, and I thought, thank God I'm here. I'd seized up on the train. I couldn't walk. I was like, I couldn't walk. I mean, lifting my feet up was difficult. And then I saw this structure in front of me, and I realised I had to go up this bloody footbridge. And it was the funniest thing ever. I pulled myself up with my arms.
I remember you saying it.
I was so numb, my shins were banging on the concrete steps, and I couldn't feel a thing. And then my son was sitting outside his car, laughing his head off, watching me sort of come down the other side of this footbridge. It was.
He probably didn't thought you was joking about it. I bet he thought you'd put it on a little bit.
No.
I
think he knew I was. He knew I was.
The situation was.
Yeah, and he had to help me up the stairs. I got in a bath. Apparently, I flooded the bathroom because I couldn't.
Fantastic.
I had no movement, so I just sat in the water and.
A lot of pain, a lot of misery, but
no
the experience.
gain. No gain.
Yeah, the experience.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was cool.
Construction
Nice
sport.
people.
52 of us were on that walk.
Yeah.
A big one.
Yeah, Ben was nice. I met the parrot.
Parrot.
Boom.
Parrot. Boom.
The big parrot that used to follow us around. We used to have to talk into.
I don't know where you're going with that one. I'm lost.
Boom. The big parrot thing. That he,
The BBC, the mic,
Yeah,
the
that
BBC
great
guys
big
had.
thing
I'm
there.
sorry.
Lobbo.
We've an actual parrot.
I thought it was a parrot
Well, I
first.
missed something.
Yeah.
London's quite
Yeah.
interesting, but there we go. Yeah, it was good though. So you've been on quite a few loads, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been a few.
Football,
I've done
football,
yeah,
rugby
I've
event.
done to the
Come to
rugby events, football events, golf days. Yeah, I do most of them. There was no way I was doing the bike ride.
Yeah.
That was the two things I would never do. And there is like a line in the sand. Is riding a bike for that distance. There's no way.
I think you've got it in you.
No. Well, it would have been in me, but there's no way. There's no way I would have done that. And the other thing I wouldn't have done is that ice bath thing.
There's still time to do that.
No. That is let's just cross those off the list.
Why? Why not? I think the ice cold thing would. I think you'd benefit.
Yeah.
I think it'd change your life. I reckon you'd fall.
Yeah.
You'd fall in love with it.
Yeah. Certain parts of my body I'm looking after at the moment.
You should ice them. Do you not like the cold?
No, I'm not great with the cold. No, I've got too much arthritis going on. The cold's not good for me.
It'll help. It'll improve it.
I like a blanket and a hot water bowl.
We'll have to do a hot water bath. A bubble bath.
Yeah.
We'll do a bubble bath for you.
Mm.
We can do an ice skip. We can take someone to London this year. We've got a few plans. I need to
Yeah.
make a phone call after this actually to someone and say, situation is for an event. We've got rugby next week. It's a Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. And when this podcast goes out, we will hopefully be saying, we won. But I don't know. They've never been beaten. Not been beaten in 5 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You get some good players though, don't you?
yeah, we've gone out there. We've put the message out. It's brilliant again. We put the message out, and a few people have popped up from all walks of life again, all over. So all over the country. Someone come down from Rochester, I think it was. A couple of lads in South West London.
Rochester, that's Kent. That's not that far.
Not Rochester. Somewhere up north. Where does Tan? He said he's from. Where's Tane coming down from?
Who?
Tane. He's in the rugby WhatsApp group.
I'm not sure. Can't remember.
Anyway, it's up north. Sheffield. It's up Sheffield way.
Sheffield
I'm sure it
way,
begins with an R. But
Rotherham?
Rotherham. That's it. I think it is Rotherham.
Yeah.
Something
Good job
like
you're not a driver, isn't it?
that. No, definitely not.
How'd you get to these places?
It's a cycle.
Oh, yeah. I think you're better.
To be honest, I woke up this morning and said to my missus, I was actually fancy cycled into work this morning, but it was hemming and rain, and she went, there's no way you're in any position to do that because I've been useless. You can probably hear it in my voice today. Not quite 100% yet, but we're on the way.
Things do take time to recover. As you get older as well, the recovery period gets longer, doesn't it?
Definitely. The back end of it. As I say, my eyes puffed up. That's what I
Yeah, that is. Isn't
can't put my lenses in.
Look like your missus has punched you or something.
It's domestic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got a cough as well. But happy days. What is where's life in First Response going? So you're not too far. You've got a few deliveries going down to Sizewell. I know we just got back from there last week. But you've got a couple of bits going on down there, haven't you?
Yeah, got a bit going on at Sizewell. Major projects. So we do a lot of major projects work.
Got a major products department as such. Yep.
Yes.
Major projects.
So that's part that we use that for HS2 and big parts of the big contract work that we get, which is good to support.
Yep. Is Thames Tideway still going? That's still shifting a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's coming to an end, isn't it? I think now.
I don't know, to be honest with you, but it's coming to an end. Yeah, that was a massive job. That was impressive, very impressive.
It's been the last 15 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
10, 15 years. I remember when I was on Crossrail, it was up and running. So they got the jackets, the oranges, the PPE with the turquoise. Did you hear about that?
No.
So they set up and they had all this specific PPE for the project. So people in London could be identified as they're the Thames Tideway people. Turquoise tops, orange and silver PPE around it. Got it all signed off. Went through all the hoops you have to for PPE. then didn't realise how many people they're going to be turning over, or how much the reality of how many the staff turnover in construction is high, and the cost of PPE at that size is a lot
off the scale.
And they couldn't get it. They couldn't get anything. They've run out effectively, and they couldn't get the demand for it. Was greater than the ability to get it. So it started to then turn orange. So there you go. Someone made a cock up at the start. I've heard that from a few people,
as they always do.
I think there was actually an article about it online. Interesting.
There's a difference between a good idea and something that actually is practical and works. I mean, everybody can have good ideas, but you need to think about it first, don't you?
Yes, and I think probably, Kevin, you're probably the guy who introduced me to brand management and awareness and marketing.
Yeah.
And the idea of all the little cliches.
Yeah, you picked it up quick though, didn't you? When we first, I remember when we were first sitting down discussing all that kind of stuff, we were talking about colours and we were talking about all kinds of bits and pieces and about making sure everything's consistent.
Yeah.
And you sort of took it and then just ran with it, didn't you? Which is,
Yeah, I think I did. I took what you said, liked it, was interested, and then just done homework, podcast, YouTube, just type it in.
Yeah, you just did it.
But awareness, because it said red, wasn't it?
Yep.
Red doesn't mean danger, does it? That's the thing. But danger is linked to red.
Yeah.
Because it awakens the senses quicker than other colours or something along those lines.
It's how people perceive things that they see in certain colours. It's just the way the mind works. So some colours are comfortable. It's like the story about the prison when they wanted to try and work out what colours to paint the prison cells.
Yes.
To try and keep the inmates calmer. And of course they experimented with various colours and various different things, reactions happened. And the idea was, no, we would never paint a cell red because it just makes guys more violent and the calming colours are colours like your greens.
Is that one of the red light districts red?
Well, that's
apparently.
I've never been to one, Steve, but perhaps you can do a video of it next time you're out down there.
That's the Uncut podcast.
Yeah, is that right? Yeah.
It's got to be something to do with it, isn't it? Gets people a little bit leery.
No, I'm scared of those women.
A bit lively.
They look a bit scary to me.
I've seen it before because canteens and cafes, I've heard someone say before, if you have cutlery, red cutlery, I have red on the table. Will benefit them more. And the sound of noise as well, people talking, with the music setting and my music set. But the noise, even a coffee machine, a Costa, if you go into your local BP garage or wherever, where they've got Tesco's, where they've got the machines, if you press the coffee, it even gives you the noise that you're sitting in a coffee machine. Yeah, it's coffee.
Does it?
Lounge, yeah.
It's like another big one.
Coffee shop.
Another big one is smells.
Smells, yeah.
Because the work that the big department stores and everything have done on smells is all geared around how you get people to obviously loosen their wallets.
Yeah.
And so certain smells will,
upselling.
But there's lots of smells I can think of that would stop me from spending.
We went to services the other day and it led you, McDonald's was there and you went in and they'd even put stuff in the middle to where the toilets were. The toilets weren't that far away, but they made the walkway, so it took you the long way round so you could go past it. So I think on the way out, you had to go past the McDonald's and the shops and that. Well, it's like Stansted Airport, isn't it now?
Oh,
that's too far, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the old airport, was there?
No. They know how to empty your pockets, don't they?
Yeah, lead you through the duty-free, innit? Lead you.
You're dragging your wife through, aren't you? Like, through the perfume.
Blindfold on.
Yeah, it's like...
all that. All the way through.
Oh, nightmare. Yeah, my wife probably spends an hour in there. It's a nightmare. We get there really early. It's awful, yeah. I think it's because she's used to me. She probably doesn't like my smell, so she numbs herself with the perfume.
So you rebranded First Response, didn't you, a couple of years ago?
Longer than that, yeah.
Was it? Yeah, was it now?
Yeah, time flies.
Nice colours, aren't they? The orange and the blue.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
What's orange? What's
the orange is our site supplies, and the blue is the tool hire. So that's how we... So if you go onto the website, you'll see that. Yeah, so it just makes it easier to order.
Yeah, so if you need your tools hired today, get in touch with First Response Site Services and Kevin Downton.
And if you're a construction sport member,
yes,
we'll
look after you.
We'll do some
construction
kind of
sport members.
Yeah,
the 100 Club.
Yeah,
you come to all the do so. It's good, create a good network of people now, isn't it?
It is. I mean, one of the things I think one of the biggest things that probably we haven't done, and I'm talking about all the members, is we probably haven't really used it for the networking that we should. So, for example, cross-selling.
Yep.
So there are opportunities for, I mean, we've got a huge customer base.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm trying to do is create partnerships.
Yep.
So we will have a resource portal on the website, which will work with construction sport members.
Yep.
And we'll gradually get them added so that we can then use that for our customers. So if a customer needs whatever it is they need, they can go onto the resource portal and see somebody that we kind of are affiliated with, or have a joint membership with, somebody we know really well. Maybe even we can do offers.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be that one of the construction sport members comes on to us, we have them on our portal, maybe they'll offer a discount to our customers of whatever.
Yep.
So I think that's something we have to explore. I think the networking is probably the weakest part of construction sport, and that's not a criticism of construction sport. It's just the nature of what it is. We tend to, we go there. We want to support a good cause, and through the support of the good cause, we do get to meet people, but we never really. Yeah. We just keep it, and
we probably need to do it from our side. Actually, create a day for all the members to come and just do a 10 or 15 minute. Little promotional advert of each of the companies and what they do. Yeah. Keep people in the room throughout the day.
What you don't want to do is you don't want it to become where people start using it to sell.
Just pushing sales.
You don't want that. Keep that separate. This is there's a charity.
There's other places for that.
There's other places for that. This is a charity that's for an exceptional cause. Yeah. And that's why I've always been behind it, because my mother suffered, as you know, with mental health all her life. She used to self-harm. So I know quite a bit about how mental health affects people. And I think you need to keep the charity. That's what the charity's focus is. But I think that all those of us that are members, we're like-minded. It's all part of social values as well.
Yeah.
And therefore, I believe that we should perhaps try and get a community. I don't particularly like that word because they use that for everything, and that community, and it doesn't exist. A community of what? It's
everyone for himself.
Put people in boxes. I don't agree with that. But I think that there is a community element to what we do, because we're all in this together. We're all putting money into a charity that we believe in.
Yep.
So therefore, as we're like-minded, it would make sense that we perhaps network.
It's a great relationship now. He's speaking with Jeff. You know Jeff very well. Paul Casey, done a lot with him, and Wayne and Dave Murrell now. Yeah. There's Ian Keane and all that. Yeah, it's just it's all good people,
and they are good guys. They're really nice people. Yeah, and so if you can have a bit of, and not just that, business is done, and everybody knows this. Business is done through relationships. Always has been, and always will be. You won't change that.
Yeah,
and therefore, it's an opportunity for us to all sort of get together and say, look, let's see let's explore if it's possible that we can try and work together, perhaps help each other out. Mm-hmm. And I think that can only be a good thing.
And you're a golfer now.
I'm a golfer. Yeah.
How's it going?
I play Sundays.
You got a set of clubs yet? You got 2 left-handed 7-irons still.
I've got 3 7-irons. I've got a full set of clubs now. I've got a golf trolley, a new bag, new balls. No,
I'll tell Phil you want to spend a weekend with him playing.
I think the problem is I'm one of those people, because I was always good at football. So football was my go-to sport, and I was always good at football. And whenever I picked up other sports, I tended to be okay at it. Yeah. You can get by, badminton or whatever it was. Cricket, I was quite good at cricket. And of course I play left-handed, which everybody hates. Especially golf. They hate you if you're left-handed.
It just looks weird.
You try and get a golf glove. Right? You can't get a golf glove. You have to order them online. No one's got. So little things like that. So I decided, look, if I'm going to do golf, I don't want to be that. Not being funny. We've played, right? I've been out with Danny and people like that, and they look at me, and because I was crap, and I understood it because I was the same with football. I was not very tolerant of crap players. So I know I'm holding them up, and I'm a pain in the arse. And I know it, right? I'm not stupid. So I would pick the ball up, and I just I won't play this hole and all that. And then I met this lad through Dad's football. And Dad's football is I don't know, they're not really dads. I don't think half of them haven't even dropped yet. So
it's Dad's football. It's a collection of a community of men.
It's a community of men playing football that I thought was dads, that I thought would be nice and easy for me. My gammy knee. Now I've given up playing football on weekends. I thought it would be nice and easy, and I turned up there, and they're all seriously.
Community.
Yeah, I got bruises older than them, so it was it was not really what I thought it was. But I met a mate. I've made a good mate there, and he organises all the football and that.
Dad, mate.
Yeah, I get
Dad
that, mate.
friend.
Yeah, he's to be fair, he's only 27, so
Yeah.
he's only a boy, you know.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah, and well, he's older than
even
older than your
I was
boys,
just
but
saying,
he's still a boy.
I've got 10 years, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still a boy, but
He's a ringer.
but he's at my level of golf, so he was crap. He was a crap golfer. So me and him were chatting one day, and we said, "Look, why don't we join a golf club? Right? And we play it, you know, just go out and have a game." So we've been doing that for quite a few months now. We joined 5 Lakes.
Yeah.
And it costs you like 40, 50 quid a month, so it's cheap as chips. And for that, you get points.
Have you met Craig Lockwood down there?
No. I've met a few people down there, but I try and keep low profile. But I'm okay now, so I can use a driver okay. It goes straight. Pretty straight. Doesn't go a long way, but it goes pretty straight. I went out last Sunday, and did okay. Yeah, I got a couple of 5s, and you know,
if you go around and you're still smiling at the end,
as
long as you're smiling, I ain't competitive.
It's the fresh air, mate, and it's been. And I'll tell you what, it's like the one thing I miss from football, and it's the worst thing, is that changing room, the banter and getting together with your mates. You all having a turning up, and there's like a tiny little chair in the corner for me.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, we've got you a new chair, Kev.
So you heard that one before.
Oh, yeah, I've had it all, honestly. You know, Kev, can you help us put the nets up? It's like, yeah, really, seriously.
Stand up, Kev.
Stand up. Yeah, I've had it all. So, yeah. So,
have you learned? Do you think that's why you've become more resilient in life?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, small man syndrome. It does make you. Do you know what it does? It does make you more aggressive.
Yeah.
And sometimes afterward you kind of think, oh, you know, I wish I hadn't have. But having said that, the last 5 or 6 years, I am so calm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My wife thinks there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
I think she thinks I'm seeing someone. You know. I wish.
There you go. So you've calmed down.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I have definitely chilled
No
as I'm
road
getting
rage?
older. No, I don't get road rage. No.
Like when Arsenal are losing.
No.
Doing all right now. Champions League. What's the pathway in if they beat Real Madrid? If they get through it all.
Probably PSG.
PSG, yeah, of course. Yeah,
probably Barcelona in the final, which brings back memories.
Yeah, it's your memory.
Yeah, this time we won't play most of the game with 10 men, hopefully.
Yeah,
we got to beat Real Madrid. I mean, not being funny, it's not a given because it's a hostile place.
Mad things have happened, haven't
they? They get a lot of strange decisions, these Spanish clubs, I think. But
yeah, that's what makes you wonder, doesn't it, in life with the likes of the Spanish football. What is it? What does it for them? I think is it the climate and people, but good footballers just prefer to go to nicer places.
Yeah, definitely. I think also, I think look, it's a less physical game of football, so the players are probably not put through the same stresses that Premier League players are put through.
Yeah,
I think Premier League football is hard. I think it's harder on players. You don't get easy games. You know, you can play the team that's bottom of the Premier League, and you know if you don't turn up, you're going to get beaten. That's not quite the same in LaLiga. I think the other thing is if you look at the Ballon d'Or winners, always come from Spain.
Yeah.
You know, and you could argue, yeah, but they're great players. You know, Messi, you know, yeah, absolutely, Ronaldo and all that.
More opportunities to stand out.
But more opportunities to stand out, exactly, because it's and they play on the they play in the top competitions.
So the Premiership is probably known as the most competitive league in the world.
I think it is. I think it's. I mean, although it's getting softer, it's still a very physical.
Hence why it's tougher for a Champions League to be won by an English team because they've got more competitive games
throughout
the year.
I think you look at Arsenal this season, and people will laugh, but the injuries. Everybody gets injuries, but not everybody gets injuries to key players, really important players.
Look at Tottenham; they had 11 players out, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean they.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. Shocking. I don't even think of them as Arsenal's rivals anymore, and that sounds arrogant. But the reason is that the 6-point games for Arsenal have never been Spurs.
Yeah.
You know, it's bigger for Spurs than it is for Arsenal. For Arsenal, the 6-point games have always been Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea.
Yeah.
You know, those because they're the ones you're competing for to win the big prizes. I mean, you know, the back in the Wenger days, it was Arsenal, Man United.
Yeah.
Arsenal weren't that bothered about Tottenham. Why would they be?
No.
You know, it was, but they are really difficult games.
Yeah.
Because obviously the rivalry and the hatred. I mean,
You've been to any Arsenal Tottenham games?
Yes. I used to live in Tottenham.
Did you?
And I used to go to school, Northumberland Park School, which was right behind the Tottenham ground.
Did it? White Hart Lane.
Yeah. And I used to, and in those days, there wasn't a lot of, that was like 70s.
Yeah.
And in those days, there wasn't a lot of difference between Spurs and Arsenal, in terms of they were both not very good. Now,
David Kerslake at the back for Tottenham. Oosh!
Who?
David Kerslake.
Who was David Kerslake then?
That's my second cousin.
Oh,
Used to
really?
play under Ozzy Ardiles signed him from Swindon, I believe.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he played right back or left back. I think he had a couple of Wenger caps, Wenger schoolboy caps.
Was he as
he's
good at
sold
football
by-
as you are at rugby?
He was better than me, yes,
Oh,
quite easily.
he must have been good.
Yeah, he did. He played like Jurgen Klinsmann days. Hewed at Packard, across his
Oh,
chest.
right. Yeah,
Kerslake,
yeah.
number 2 or 3 on the back.
Oh, right.
I think Jerry Francis sold him, the bastard. And then he went back to Swindon, Wycombe Wanderers. He went about. He also then went on to manage, be assistant manager for Malky Mackay when Cardiff come up. He was his right-hand man. He was with him.
Oh, right.
And then Malky Mackay was sick one day when they played Arsenal. So David, this is only when Cardiff were in the Premiership a few years ago. 7 years ago. And he stepped in for Malky Mackay as the first team manager. So there's a picture of him, I think, at the Emirates, and he's the manager for the day for.
And did they win?
No, I don't know. Probably not. It's not a bad thing. No. And then he was best mates with Justin Edinburgh, and Justin Edinburgh passed because he played with him. And Gary was mates with Gary Speed and all those guys. So yeah, he's been about. That's
See him still?
No, it's one of those like weddings and funerals, I suppose, isn't it? Kind of only times for funerals
thing,
now. Yeah. But he's been Notts County for a bit, assistant manager. Blackpool, I think Blackpool for a bit. Yeah, he's bouncing around assistant manager roles. Yeah, there you go. That's competitive in itself, isn't it? Imagine all this management world now. Who would want to do it, eh?
Oh.
Well, it's not too bad for like Jose Mourinho. I mean, he gets sacked every 6 months and you're getting paid for 3 years.
Do you know what makes me laugh about football? It frustrates me a lot. Is that you've got these are athletes now. Okay, these footballers. They're not back in the day. They were footballers and drinking beer and all that. These guys are athletes, right? So they are fine. The fitness is up. It's ridiculous, right? These guys are monitored.
Peak performance.
They're monitored. They've got medical teams. They've got coaching teams. I mean, this is elite level sport. And you've got some bloke who's a carpenter down the road who knows better than the manager.
Mm. Yeah.
Or you I know we all have opinions and there's nothing wrong with having an opinion, but, you need to just say, actually, do you know what? I am an amateur football fan. I kind of think I know, but I don't know what goes in 7 days a week before the game.
Yeah.
You just want to be a team sheet manager.
I think that's just, for me, on the outside, I've not really been a massive football fan. It's hearing people talk about it, it's just bore off. You know what I mean? Everyone thinks, rugby, you don't see that in many other sports.
No, but there's so much analysis. The problem is there's all this analysis now. They're using all these new things like XG and everything else. And everybody thinks this is this easy game. I mean, if you look at the Premier League, I think the average winning score is 1-0 or something like that.
Is
the
it
average
really?
score is
Yeah.
1-0. Yeah, because it's fine margins.
Yeah.
And these are, as I said, these are athletes. These are, and I wouldn't have played him. He's been overplayed. Well, hold on a minute. You look at the best players around the world. Yeah. They play the most games. Mm-hmm. It's not rocket science. Why do they play the most games? Well, they play the most games because they're the best players. The manager wants the best player in the team.
Yeah, he gets his money's worth.
So these players play 50. So you've got some guy at home saying, the reason he's done his hamstring, he's been overplayed. Oh, well, okay, so what's your medical experience?
Got prescribed painkillers last week. That's about it.
It's banana. It's like in construction, isn't it? It's like
but you say about the peak performance thing, because you can get to the rugby world now, like how defence dominant in a way it is, and how many just the tackling. But there's not missed tackles nowadays compared to there was years ago, isn't? So I think points. I'm not sure about the points. The points are still quite high, I suppose, but there's just the physicality is just up there, and everyone's absolute machines, and that's why, it hurts.
Yeah, and it does, and the thing is as well, they're on the edge.
Yeah,
they're on the edge fitness wise, so it doesn't take a lot to push them over that edge. you
No,
know.
yeah, and that's the thing. Football, rugby, all these elite sports, you're one tackle away from retirement, aren't you?
And look at these
All the
silly
time.
football boots they wear. I mean,
Oh, it's bonkers, isn't it?
Oh.
It's like cling film.
I was. Do you know what? We had a lad when I was managing a team, and he turned up and he had these boots on. He was showing off. He paid like silly money, like 150 quid or something. These thin little bits of, you know. And he got injured. Someone had jumped on his foot, which is a common thing, you know, that happens in football. People stand on your feet, you know.
Yeah.
And he did a metatarsal, and at the time, that was when all these metatarsal injuries was coming on.
Rooney and Beckham.
They're all getting them, and it's like, and there was us older players who were all wearing our black leather, you know, Puma Kings,
Yeah.
Puma Kings
Yeah.
or whatever, you know, paying 60, 70 quid for them, and we were fine. And I think that this is the way, and you look at these players now, and because of the speed and everything else, they wear these tiny little boots, and they kind of, and the pitches are like flat. I mean, I can remember watching football, and most people would remember it back in probably the 70s, 80s, where you'd look at a pitch and it was like a ploughed field.
I'll never forget Monday Night Football, Sky Sports, watching Tim Flowers. Someone passed it back to Tim Flowers. He was at Blackburn. I think. And it hit the bobble. The pitches weren't level. Hit the bobble, went straight over the top of his head. And he was down on his knee to collect it like goalkeeper. And it just went dunk, straight over his head with the pitches where they were. You still have, you don't even get the worn out area for the goalkeepers now, do you? It's grass everywhere, isn't it?
There is a something you can watch on YouTube, which is Georgie Best. I think he was playing FA Cup Northampton Town. It might have been.
Yeah.
And George Best was, you know, just like an unbelievable player. And this pitch was just mud everywhere, and this guy was gliding over this. It was like the most. You wouldn't see that now. So
even look at that, Georgie Best, even Pele, wouldn't it? What they were doing on pitches in those conditions.
you do wonder what they'd be like on these pitches, because these pitches are,
Yeah.
you know, but they're hard on the body again because they are semi-artificial.
Yeah.
So if you go to, I've had a look at the pitches at the Arsenal and that, and it's like woven. They have like a woven plasticky.
It is. And 1 in 4 blades is plastic, isn't it? Well, the grass blades.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
Well, you don't
it's
get.
built
That's why
into
you
it.
don't get in the old days. You do a slide tackle and you get this great big divot come out.
Yeah.
You don't see divots anymore.
No. You get
Well, unless you're playing golf.
Yeah, plenty of them.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite all-time player?
My favourite all-time player. Oh, that's such a good question. I used to love Liam Brady when I was young. I thought he was an amazing player. Do you remember Liam Brady?
No.
Before your time?
I think it was Karen Brady.
Scored a curling top corner against Spurs once. Unbelievable goal. But probably the best player I've seen live is probably Thierry Henry.
Yeah, so good.
Unplayable.
Yeah.
If he's on it, unplayable.
Mm.
I mean, you know, he used to set people. I mean, Jamie Carragher makes me laugh. He used to eat him up and spit him out.
Inside his right
Spit,
foot every time, wasn't it? Bosh, bosh, bosh.
It was just he was so quick, but he was quick. He had power. He had everything.
He come as a winger as well, didn't he, for Arsenal?
He was a wing back, wasn't he, for a while?
Yeah.
But and Wenger said no, you're playing up front. But
Electric.
again, he didn't play as a centre forward. This is the other thing they talk about, all these centre forwards now. You don't get a lot of centre forwards.
Number 9s.
You get a lot of. I mean, look at Mbappe. Good example. He's another one like Thierry Henry. Plays over on the left, comes in. Messi was never a number 9, but what an unbelievable player he was.
I don't know why. I loved Faustino Asprilla when he was
did
at
you?
Newcastle. I thought, yeah, 'cause him and David Ginola. I was never a Newcastle fan. But then David Ginola and Faustino Asprilla. It was the backflip he done. He was like the first person to turn around to do a backflip.
Well, Newcastle fans believe signing him cost them the title, don't they?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ah, interesting.
When Keegan signed him, a lot of Newcastle fans think he was a good player, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. But yeah, even England. Well, so at Arsenal, it was like the English back four: Dixon, Winterburn, Bold, Adams, even Campbell.
It was the best back four. It was all English, and it never played for England.
Yeah.
You'd have thought an England manager would have just said, "Look, let's not worry. We've got a unit. Let's stick that in.
They're invincible.
We'll be all right."
They're invincible, and the goalkeeper Seaman behind them.
Yeah.
So they all know each other.
Yeah, Seaman, Dixon.
And then it's French, Overmars, Petit, Ray Parler.
Oh, don't.
Those were the days, Kevin.
You're going to have lots of people listening to this who are going, "No, this is so boring." Arsenal fans.
It's Invincibles. No one else has ever done it. No team has ever been as good as that team, Kev. It's fact.
Well, John Terry is not happy about that, is he? He's been sounding off.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, we were better than them, you know. They just get over it. You know, it's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we
I'm
can all
sure.
have discussions what the best
Well, you know,
team
John
was.
Terry's got plenty of other things on his mind, and it's not in front of his mates, is it? It's in front of their missuses.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't want him. You wouldn't leave him in your house alone with your missus.
I'm on
would
a
you?
night shift tonight, John. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. Kevin Downton, thanks for coming down, pal. That little
mate.
chinwag. The studio is always open to the likes of First Response. Get down in here soon.
Can we? Is it okay for me to do a pitch?
A pitch, sales pitch.
Well, we're hiring.
Yes.
We're hiring, so we've got some key positions that we need to fill.
What are the positions?
Okay, so we need an experienced tool hire sales manager.
One.
That's one job. We need an internal salesperson who really to promote our site supplies, which is everything, including signage, including all our PPE range.
Yep.
We need a tool hire, ideally a driver with tool hire experience, but multi-drop will probably work. But ideally, we'd like tool hire experience just because they understand the rules. And that will be multi-drop work delivered into London, home counties. We're looking for a lifting tester.
Yep.
Lola, someone who's LEEA. Again, we're hiring these right now. So if there's anyone out there who's interested,
Plenty of live opportunities at First Response.
and they get to see me every now and then.
And get a free notepad. Thank you, Kev.
That's all right, mate. Lovely,
Pleasure, pal. Thanks for all your
That's all
support
right.
from day
No
one,
worries, Steve.
and
No
continue into the future.
That's all right, mate.
Future's bright.
Good
Future's
stuff.
orange. Was that that was Orange's thing, wasn't it?
Sorry.
Future's bright. Who was that? The Future's bright.
Don't know.
Future's orange.
Do you know what I heard
Sure,
the
it was
other?
a telecom.
Do you know what I
Orange phone.
heard the other day in a shop? I haven't heard for years and years, and it made me laugh.
Stop him.
Somebody called someone a silly sausage.
Silly sausage. Perfect.
Do you ever remember that?
I know that in years.
I haven't heard that for years, and I laughed.
Ellis Genge was getting some stick in the rugby. No, it was Ellis Genge. It was, yeah. And he's a bit of a Bristol boy as well, Bristol accent. And he said it was something like the Enchelons of the world of Twickenham, the old boys club, who was getting a bit of stick for him. And he just said that they can all just do one, they're just a bunch of sausages or something like that. And the uproar, because he was holding a bottle of beer as well at the end of the game. And the uproar was like, how dare he bring our game into disrepute by saying comments like that against the people whilst he's sitting there with alcohol in his hand and all this. And it was just, everyone was just like, this is fucking brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Do you know what? Nowadays, people are so... The snowflake term is so
I think the old
appropriate.
farts clubs in life, there's a few things I've seen recently, I don't go into too much, but the old farts in the world, the old boys clubs that run certain establishments, I think aren't really up to date with how technology works.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it's definitely, you look at the RFU in the rugby world, English rugby struggling because they weren't willing to change. Even my old club just fell apart because the old boys let it rot in a way. And then you look at construction, it's full of the old boys clubs at the top. You can see that. And they don't know what this power of technology and media and branding and growing an audience.
Well, you look at a lot of construction firms, and when you see their presence online, it's very dated.
Yeah.
It looks old-fashioned.
Communication
and
as well,
you know,
Kev. Like we see some of the things that are being confirmed and said about behind the scenes for the industry to take on board. No one knows how to get those messages out there. It's bonkers. We're doing a few things at the moment. We've got a meeting at the end of the month, but the industry doesn't realise.
Why do you think that is? That because they're old boys in it, or is it just that people are
Protecting what they've got.
You think that's what it is? Yeah.
Protecting their little space. Don't want to upset the apple cart. Too many shareholders. If we went too public with something, we could affect something. And if our figures look down, there's pressure on us. And so just keep it as it is, nice and contained. Not realising the pressure from within, from outside is coming in. And we are the pressure.
Yeah, you are the disruptor.
We will change.
A disruptor.
We will make the change.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff. Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin Downton.
all right.
First Response, Site Services. Get your notepad. Get in touch. If you want a free notepad, please put in the comments, free notepad. And I'll make sure Kevin sends you one.
Yeah, I've got 2 in my bag.